Welcome to the Taiwan Language episode, a podcast for learning and insights in Mandarin and Taiwanese. I'm your host, Yasmin. Welcome to today's episode. Today I want to share a short story by Pai Hsien-yung called Autumn Reveries. The main character was Madam Hua. She was a high society woman whose husband had been a general. That one autumn, before the victory against Japan, her husband died in Nanjing from throat cancer. Later, Madam Hua moved to Taiwan and settled in Taipei. She had married a daughter who lived abroad. Madam Hua often spent time with her high society women, playing mahjong to pass the time. One of her friends was Madam Wan, whose husband was about to be transferred to Japan. So Madam Wan had been learning Japanese and adopting Japanese customs, which made Madam Hua feel both contempt and jealousy. Autumn always brought a sense of falling leaves and loneliness. White chrysanthemums also bloomed in autumn in Nanjing, the year her husband laid the troops back after the victory against Japan. The whole city celebrated with firecrackers. In another autumn in Nanjing, when her husband was seriously ill, Madam Hua personally picked white chrysanthemums for him in the garden. Now, Madam Hua lived alone in Taiwan, even though she still had a luxurious life. Her loved ones were not around. In this story, I saw Madam Hua's jealousy, dislike, and contempt for Madam Wan. Another notable character was Miss Li. She helped these high society women with their grooming, like makeup, eyebrow shaping, facials, and manicures, much like a modern beauty salon worker. Miss Lin was very good at pleasing her clients, always saying what they wanted to hear. If Madam Hua belonged to high society, then Miss Lin was a servant of that time. Maybe we could compare these two types of people in society. You could see that when someone was thriving in a business or social world, their goal was to earn money to survive. They had to be good at managing and caring for clients, which became a part of their survival. Although they knew their status was not equal to that of high society people, they knew how to cater to them, making these wealthy ladies their main clients. Madam Hua was jealous of Madam Wan mainly because Madam Hua's husband was still alive, while her husband had passed away. Moreover, Madam Wan's husband was about to be transferred to Japan and they would live there together. Madam Wan described her as a modern grandmom, which showed her concern about aging, something that also troubled Madam Hua. Madam Hua's daughter often sent her skincare products, reminding her that she needed this to cover up the signs of aging. Madam Wan was someone she disliked because she felt confined in this social circle of dignitaries, like Miss Lin, so perhaps now only Madam Wan could compare to her in terms of looks, wealth, and age. Another ironic point was that Madam Hua's husband was once a war hero against Japan, while Madam Wan's husband was now being gloriously transferred to Japan. Madam Wan had first learned Japanese culture such as the tea ceremony and flower arranging. This was why Madam Wang asked Madam Hua for some of the large white chrysanthemums for her garden. But Madam Hua was reluctant to share. The flowers were noble and precious in her mind, tied to cherished memories, and she didn't want to part with them. In the story, there was a line that expressed Madam Hua's feelings. Madam Wang said, "Madam Hua, are those chrysanthemums of yours really less superior? Can't you bear to part with one or two for me to use in my flower arrange?" Madam Hua thought to herself, "Don't tell me I have to surrender this really superior handful of snows to her to be ravaged." I am wondering if any of you listening to this podcast have ever had something very precious to you. I suppose many individuals have belongings they prefer not to share, such as antiques accumulated over years. You won't readily display them to just anyone. There's this notion that if they remained untouched, they would evolve into cherished memories, holding a unique significance for certain individuals in your life. However, if you shared them with others, they might not appreciate them as you do. You aim to safeguard these precious possessions, while others might handle them casually. If someone requested to borrow or play with them, I imagine you won't consent. What do you think after listening to this story? Feel free to leave a message with your thoughts. Now let me share some useful Taiwanese sentences with you. The first one, 做人就要捌道理，做人就要捌道理. One should understand the reason in life. This implies that it's important for individuals to be reasonable and act with good judgment in their conduct. So if we want to say, you have to understand reason in life. In Taiwanese, that is, 做人就要捌道理，做人就要捌道理. The second one, 伊是一个普通人，伊是一个普通人. He is an ordinary person. This simply states that the person referring to is not exceptional or extraordinary, but rather typical. So here is just an ordinary person. You can say, 伊是一个普通人，伊是一个普通人. Next, 你安尼讲无唔对，你安尼讲无唔对. You are right in saying so. This acknowledgement that the statement made by the listener is correct or accurate. So you agree its opinion and you want to say you are right in saying so. You can say, 你安尼講無唔對，你安尼講無唔對. The last one, 你還有什麼代誌？你還有什麼代誌? Do you have anything else? This is a question asking if there's any other matters or things the person wants to discuss or mention. So you're asking the person, do you have anything else? You can say, 你還有什麼代誌？你還有什麼代誌? Okay, let's recap those 4 sentences. The first one, 做人就要捌道理，做人就要捌道理. Second one, 伊是一個普通人，伊是一個普通人. The third one, 你安尼講無唔對，你安尼講無唔對. The last one, 你還有什麼代誌？你還有什麼代誌? So that wraps up what I had to share today. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you enjoyed today's episode, please leave a 5-star review on your listening platform to help more people discover this podcast. You can support my work by buying me a cup of coffee, which helps this podcast to continue providing learning resources. To enrich your learning experience, I create a study guide in Chinese with pinyin versions. You can use the study guide to preview before the new podcast episode launches or review after listening to the podcast to enhance your language skills. Make sure to check our show notes for more information. Thank you for joining us, and I hope you will join us again on Taiwan language episode. Until next time, bye bye.